excited and glad. Is that Youngjoon? Hi, Youngjoon. Yeah. Okay. Hi. That does not sound like me. Anyway, I'm really glad to see you here. Maybe if I speak fast enough, feedback will stop. So I'm guessing we'll win me. Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad to see all of you here. It's really great. Yeah, today is the combination of a long series of very random events. So I'm going to tell you about the first random event that began this whole thing. But it was during my freshman year at Yale, when a Malaysian senior by the name of Brian Ong, some of you might know him, took me for pizza and to meet his friend who was visiting from California. He was also a Malaysian, a guy called Sim Zesin. During the 3-hour-long dinner, Sim, Brian, and I played IQ games, ate a lot of pizza, and talked about Malaysia. I had no idea then that Sim was one of a few Malaysians in the San Francisco Bay Area who had started what was then called the Stanford Malaysia Forum in 2001, and he later organized the first Malaysia Forum in 2004. 2 years later, during my summer, this past summer in 2007, as an intern for Malaysia Kini, I bumped into Sim during one of my reporting assignments, completely randomly. He had left the Bay Area by the time I returned to Malaysia, where he had started working for Anwar Ibrahim and PKR. A few weeks later, Sim had decided for me that the Malaysia Forum was going to happen in the Northeast area in 2008, and I was going to be a big part of it. And here we are now. So the Northeast Malaysia Forum 2008 has grown out of many instances, just like my chance meetings with Sim. For example, I met Suhit Singh and Sabrina Chan during our internship together at Malaysia Kini. We hadn't planned any of it. Ng Ying Han had been my best friend back at Taylor's College, and he in turn introduced me to Jo Yu, Nitya, and John. Through the Stanford Malaysia Forum mailing list, I got to know Ong Shenjin and Nicholas Chu, and all these people have been immensely important in the NMF process, and this forum would not have happened without them and many others whom I don't have the time to thank right now. So I think all of us in this room have had instances like this happen to us, when friends who are Malaysian introduce us to other friends who are Malaysian, and then you go and eat together. Or you're back in Malaysia for summer, and then you hear that someone who went to your high school several years before you, several years after you, is going to school in the Northeast, and then you go and eat together. And you go and visit your friend at another school, and he calls his other Malaysian friends to come and meet you, and then you eat together. Or you're having dim sum in New York, and then you hear a stranger speaking a familiar accent, and then you probably eat together. So you are in this room right now because you got an email from a friend who got an email from another friend. Now that we're here and Malaysia is there, Malaysia has got to happen here somehow. And it seems to happen here at least through bonds that are formed through shared experiences and shared interests. So in food, for example, in football, not soccer, and in a country with a past too rich to remember, a language too complex to explain, and a future too uncertain to discuss. So we all know now that we are living in a critical era for Malaysia. Anyone who disagrees need only look at the recent election results to know that Malaysia has been dragged kicking and screaming into an era of change. According to the media, we are living in a political tsunami, but the tsunami is caused by movements deep below the water which have been going on for a long time. And it's our aim this morning and tomorrow to pull back from the tidal waves caused by the election and to look instead at the deep channels of change that have been building up in our country for many years. This weekend we'll discuss many things: new media, corporate businesses, human rights, religion, and we hope that all of us will leave this forum with a mental picture of a dynamic, growing Malaysia and not a stagnant Malaysia. I urge us to continue to keep the big picture in mind through our speaker panels, discussion workshops, and the conversations that I hope we will have tonight, tomorrow, and from now on. Sorry. This weekend we'll be talking about Malaysia not as a group of scholars or students or specialists. Instead, we'll be talking about Malaysia as a group of friends. Friends who will eat together, work together, and even sleep together. Let us first discover what we have in common before we learn about our disagreements. Let us create a culture of sensitivity and understanding where we can share honest dialogue. Let us bring the mamak culture to Boston, Massachusetts. We'll even provide you the copy and day. So, lastly, I want to emphasize the active role of this forum. The first Stanford Malaysia Forum inspired one girl so much that she decided to start her own online socio-political youth journal, thechichat.com. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. You are not here just to participate in a forum. You are here to participate in a culture of change, which is not limited just to this forum, but it happens whenever people are passionate about making change in Malaysia. In your discussion workshops, we will be pushing for a plan of action based on the topics you have chosen. This does not have to be a big plan. Maybe a group will write a letter to a political party. Maybe you and a friend will promise to work together in a non-profit in Malaysia this summer. Maybe you will draft out a policy paper, or make a phone call, open a book, start a website. Whatever you do, I strongly hope that this forum will equip you with knowledge, understanding, and friends who are willing to run with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. One more thing before we move on. Andrew Lowe, who's a sophomore at Swarthmore, the brand, and Nicholas Wong, who's a freshman at Columbia, will be live blogging the entire event as it goes on malaysiaforum.org/NMF.